We are in Victoria, Tamaulipas State, Mexico. Me and little Pepe, and Magic, who's been with me a year tomorrow. Tomorrow's our 1-year anniversary of the day I found Magic lost in a swamp north of New Orleans. We've been here like 36 hours. We spent last night in the Hampton Inn, which I understand is now part of the Hilton chain. And this is the third time we've walked down this alley. I love alleys. Most of Appalachia does not have alleys. I lived 16 years in Asheville and then spent a solid year, me and my last dog, Panchita, aka Pancho, a little chubby chihuahua, roaming around the high mountains of Appalachia. So many great adventures. But nowhere were there alleys. When we got to Louisville, the summer of 21, Louisville, grand old city with a lot of fabulous architecture and great old neighborhoods, and also a huge bombed out black neighborhood that nobody talks about, the West End. But they had alleys, and we liked alleys. And then we got back to Chicago for the fall of 21, and of course, once again, great alleys. Now this is not, it's very broad. It's broader than a typical alley, messier. The standards around littering, I don't know that they've ever had public health campaigns about littering, or they sure don't give out tickets for littering in Mexico. Pepe, come on, Pepe, let's go. Pepe, just the new cutting edge on day 3 is coming for a walk. And he did that for a while. On the other side of the road, he was chasing Magic for a long time, meaning like a block. But his little legs get tired and he wants to be carried again. So, third time down this alley, and street dogs all through South Texas. We spent 10 months in the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. Lots of street dogs there. And we crossed a few times into Mexico, much more street dogs there. And then we made our big crossing on Monday, 3 days ago, to go first to Tampico, wonderful old ancient city apparently, with a great beach, 6 hours south of the border, and where people recommend you go to be safe. The U.S. State Department and various travel sites do not suggest you go to Victoria, where we are. But we haven't encountered any cartel members yet. And so far, almost every place I've gone in my 3 years of travel, people have said it's dangerous. You really shouldn't go there, or at least be very careful. My city friends said that about Appalachia with the rednecks out there. Very overblown. In fact, totally backwards, upside down. Because the Appalachian people I ended up liking a lot more than most of my progressive city friends. When we headed for Louisville does have a lot of street crime and very racially polarized after Breonna Taylor's murder. A lot of old cars and trucks down in Mexico. And Pepe thinks he's walked enough. So people had all kinds of overblown fears about Louisville, including the cashier at our favorite convenience store out on the edge of the suburbs, who said, really hip young guy we liked a lot, he said, I identify as a person of color. I've got Asian in me, Korean or something, but I will not go to downtown Louisville. Please don't go down there. Black people are so angry they will rip you out of your car and beat you for being white. Well, we spent a whole lot of time downtown Louisville, and nothing like that. It's very charming and very beautiful. It was still COVID ravaged when we were there, so not as active as it might be, but bouncing back, there was a lot of action. New Orleans, same thing. Oh, and in Louisville, the big secret in Louisville is the West End. My son has grown up since age 6 in Louisville. I've been there, I calculate, something like 400 times over 40 years. Black men, biracial, identifies black. He and his mom took residency in the beautiful Bardstown area, and very hilly, very beautiful. And We hung out there every time I went. I didn't even know the West End existed. It's like half of Louisville. But it's a secret because it's so poor and so unresourced. Over the years, the supermarkets have gone away, the stores have gone away. The only stores that thrive there are all-night liquor stores, and they're all over. But the one consistent theme is where white fragility sees danger, I discover poverty and good people, and nowhere near the level of danger that I've experienced on the northwest side of Chicago. Polish guy pulled a gun on me for taking shelter from the rain under his porch. I really thought he was going to kill me. He said he would if I didn't march. And it was raining so hard, I said, "Do you see that rain? I'll leave when the rain stops." And then he went around behind me, and I thought, it'd be so much easier for him to pull the trigger from there. So I left. New Orleans. On our way there, everybody said, stay away from the lower 7th Ward, the very poor neighborhood that got hit hardest by Katrina. Well, what the lower 7th Ward meant to us was Walter Harris, the lead drummer of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, the most iconic jazz band in America, who we met in our first week and became friends with. Awesome guy. Grew up there. There's a 5-part podcast about it's called Life's Rhythm, Feeling Life's Rhythm, something like that. It's on Earfluence podcast. I bet on any, and I got it off of Apple Podcasts. Finding Life's Rhythm, the story of Walter Harris from lower 7th Ward, drug dealing, prison, to spiritual awakening, and becoming the real thought leader and musical leader of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. That's what lower 7th Ward means to me. White people, middle-class white people love to hate New Orleans. Oh, it's dirty, it's crime. There was my experience was very little violent crime. A whole lot of smash and grabs. Broken glass everywhere. But nowhere have I experienced the level of people pitching in. Just people on their morning walks doing what I always do. Pick up litter wherever you see it. New Orleans, there's a lot of that. And as opposed to Louisville, where there truly was a lot of racial polarization and I got more dirty looks than anywhere else, I think it's because black and white partied together in New Orleans with the black originated Mardi Gras, that walking down the street in the Lower Garden District, the Coliseum Square Park where we would hang out, if I gave a warm greeting to a black man walking down the street, "Hi, how you doing?" He was likely to say, "And how are you today, my brother?" Amazing. Amazing. Everywhere. So Mexico, same deal. I think it's an awful lot to do with it being Hispanic, that sure there's cartels, sure there's danger, sure there are terrible things that happen. But one example of kidnapping in the last 5 years, I think, is the only example in 5 years with gringos that happens with Latinos.